Morning, everyone. Morning. As you can see, they like the US dollar Swiss franc there, Mr. Mariani. Okay.
Yep, I do. No, I do.
Yeah. So
And
we'll
I
see who
just
it
happened
works
to, well,
out.
I'm sure it'll go right.
Yeah. Well, actually, I
Yeah.
like it when you do that, because if it goes well, I'm going to take all the credit. If it doesn't go well, I said, well, hang on a minute. It was Pietro Mariani who sent it out. You go and send him poison pen letters. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
obviously only kidding. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, just want
no
to
problem.
say, any new guys in here? See a few new names. This is a trading room, not a training room. It's like a forum. Please interact, ask questions. We discuss the practical aspects of trading amongst us all, and we all hopefully benefit from it, including the more experienced guys as well as the new guys. The trade idea sent today wasn't my idea. Actually, one of the guys who just spoke, Pietro, and I thought it's not a bad idea. It's been sent out. So we get ideas here. If you're not sure what a line on the chart is, that's fine. What I can't do is give full-on training. That's done by the stock market college classes if you bought the product. So if you don't know about shares, you don't know about Forex, you don't know lot size. In other words, some are you just completely a beginner. You need to get some basic knowledge. Otherwise, you might find this a bit difficult. And on top of it, it holds everybody else up if I'm going to spend time giving free lessons, and it'll annoy people like Mike and that. Hey, Mike, and other guys who took the trouble to pay for something if somebody else gets it for free. But that being said, mate, please, if you're not sure of something, I can clarify what's that blue line on the chart, that sort of thing, not a problem. Yeah, so we can take it from there. Okay, right. I'm just going to share the screen now. It's still coming up to past when we're going to start. If you can't see the screen, I'm sharing it now. Just let me know, and I'm presuming you all can hear me. A revision's fine. Revision, that's completely different, Anna Marie, completely different. Like muscle memory, hitting the ball every single day, a couple 100,000 a year. That makes you a professional, absolutely. Golf ball, that is. But it's not to say, hang on a minute, what's a Bollinger Band? And I now hold everybody up explaining that. Don't use it that much myself anyway. No, it's for clarifications, all that. But to say a complete person, never heard of anything, whole class getting a free lesson, that's not going to work. It's not fair. And I'm sure, hey, Anna Marie, you would be first to kick up and say, hang on, I just bought the damn thing. Why is this guy getting it for free? Revision, repetition, all same stuff. All good. Okay, that's how part it gets started. Dollar Swiss franc came out as an idea. If it's mine, it was brilliant. It's Pietro's, it isn't. I'm only kidding, but actually, just saying, you know, I do quite like it. It might jump a little bit, but every time it's trying to, this guy here is holding. The dollar's been strong. Just explain a lot of the safe haven of the currencies now going to the dollar, which means it's come away from gold. So that was a bit of a disaster. To be honest, I should have been very bit circumspect posting it because it was a bit iffy. There's a bit of technical damage done on it. Some guy didn't join it, and probably the right thing to do. The NAS and the Dow seem to break through. The dollar continued to strengthen, which surprised me a little bit. It was about 8 o'clock last night. It wasn't even Powell. It was minutes of a meeting. And it looked like they're reiterating that it might not be the end of interest rates increases, which strengthened the dollar a bit, but now it's pulling back a bit. The yields, let's look at the yields on the other screen. Now it's starting to pull back a bit. So now you've all been stopped out. No, you might still be in gold, actually. Don't think you were stopped out. It might bounce from here. So you might be okay. I think you might be okay. Some guys got in with a stop about 1885 or something. You might still be okay. Fortunately, the NAS and the Dow didn't work out so well, but the others did. So you just got to remember, if you take if you get 6 or 7 trades that worked out and 2 or 3 happen to you badly, means you take your profits too quickly and you're holding on to your losses. In fact, somebody WhatsApped me yesterday. It's getting pretty close to my stop. Should I modify my stop? Meaning, should I modify my stop away from? And I said, why would you want to increase your losses? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get stopped out. I know exactly what I mean. We've all done it, including myself, many, many times. We don't want to get stopped out. We don't want to take the loss. So we rather move the stop away, hope it's going to bounce, and it doesn't. Now all the original calculations are up to maggots, and and you just increase your loss. But now it's in a profit. Ooh, might be taken away. I'll grab it quickly. So you find that guys are 1 and 4 trades, and then sometimes what they do even worse, they take their profit. So it's still doing all right. I'll enter again. Well, now they're entering at a higher price. No, rather modify the stop, not too close, or reduce the risk, but don't take it too quickly. Sometimes, occasionally, you wish you had taken it quicker. I get that. But generally speaking, there's a point behind the calculator to get a risk reward in your favor on the profit. Try to run more with the profits than holding on to losses, hoping they're going to come right. Very, very much. Very, very important. Hi, Farney. But anyways, if you like this one, it's hovering a bit. But so it's hovering a bit. I think what's the signal came out? I think it's probably around about that. Just quickly checked it. Yeah, about the same price it was just now, hovering a bit. Let's see if the dollars seem to be coming off, maintains a bit of downside speed, and then we should come to the party. Okay. Well, it hadn't so far, to be fair. I get you on that one. I hadn't. Let's say it doesn't this time around. Let's see, how far away is that? It's only 25 pips, but we shall see. We shall see. If that dollar comes up, I think it's overcooked. We'll put a fib on as well, because the 618 fib seems to be holding. See, the 618 fib, together the 50-day moving average, and together with, if you put it back there, these areas here seem to be holding. So, and the stop clearly is out the way up there. So fingers crossed on that one. Hope it comes right. Okay, guys, hope you're all with me on that. If not, there you are. You can unmute and speak, or you can WhatsApp. Hope you're all clear on that. Okay, so there you are. You got the figures sent out. I mentioned WTI. Right. We'll start off with Brent. There's a reason behind that, by the way. Brent, I want to get a slightly better price, around about 82.20 mark, round about this, 82.15, 82.20. Didn't quite get there, okay? So I shifted over to WTI, and it seems to be holding around about that level there. You see that? See that? Going back here. You see that? So that's a possibility of that. Now, this is a big question. China still got a couple of problems. And why is that important? Because they import oil. They've got a couple of problems. You know, like you're a bit broke, you're going to drive less. If you're driving less, you're not using oil. And, you know what I'm saying? So it brings down the price of oil, supply and demand. Simple as that. Nothing more sexy and complicated than that. And so do you think that WI could come back to the 200? I'm still bullish on it, but I'm rather buy the retracement and sell it down, like I've mentioned several times in the trading room here. Do you think we could start maybe buying it? It's bounced off this level with a stop down here, somewhere in a TP up there. What do you guys think? We'll look at AUD USD as well. Before we do that, what do you guys think of this one? Like it?
I like it, but yesterday I was knocked on the Exxon quite
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah. It shouldn't be too bad. Then we overexposed. But I hear you. That hit the 107 stop loss. But the Distel, get it right. Disney, shame. The Disney's doing okay. So that should be making up for it. Okay. Go on. That, I think we can look to buying it again if you got out. That comes back to this level here. Let's see how it opens. I think you can buy that again. I think that's going to hold, get some upside. But if you believe oil will go up, and I think it will. So, and Thule's looking for it. Caleb likes it. Rabi likes it. Gerard's your idea. Don't need me round here, guys. What do you think, Gerard? We'll go back to, might go help going back to WTI after all that. So if we do, okay. Oh, you went for already. Yeah, well, you're think on your feet. That's fair enough. Okay. What am I doing? Now we can put the stop loss down here, but then we're going to be pretty tight. So we can put the TP up at this level here. Maybe want a tighter stop. 81, 84.15, call it. So you might want a tighter stop. So I don't want to put a wider TP, and that's not going to cut it. So are you happy to do a tighter stop? Maybe up here somewhere. Would you be okay with that? And a slightly tighter SL, sorry, TP, I mean. There we are. There we are. TP there, stop loss there. Are we happy with that, or do you want a slightly wider one? What do you want? Are you guys happy with that?
Yes, I'm.
Okay. Just look at the 4 hour. It's in the neutral zone there. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, just keep an eye on that then, if you like it. If it breaks through there, it'll be even better. Or pulls back a bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you like it. I'll put that down then. What's it? 79.43. 79.43. What was the stop loss again? I forgot now. Bucker it. Oh, here it is. 77.30 to 83.68. Second one to get that down. See how that goes. Okay. Right, we'll do that. We'll do. Sorry, so we'll do AUD/USD first because it was asked first from Farney. Right. Let's look at the 4 hour. Do you think it's bounced enough to sell it? Well, I tell you what, some sellers coming, they'll give you a due. Some sellers are coming in there, give you a due. What about the weekly? Anyone to chase at these levels? I presume you're looking at downside. I assume I didn't check. I assume you look at downside. I wasn't buying it just now. Did you see down or upside? I'm looking at downside here.
For a sell. For a sell.
That's all right. Yeah, for a sell, that's fine. All right, guys, what do you think? Do you think it might pull back a little bit before we can sell it? Right, rally a bit before we can sell it? Let's look at the 15-minute. What do you think? Is it worth chasing now, or do you think we should wait for a pullback? I'm a bit indecisive on that, as you can probably gathered. What do you think?
I was thinking of putting a pending in and go in at 0.64100. See where it closes on the hour.
641, 0.641. What am I doing? 641 goes the wrong way, you dick. Brown about there. Just about got it. Okay, maybe a shorter term chart might get it better, but easier. That's about there. That's fine. Okay, go back to the daily. How far is that away? 20 pips. So we're talking around about 64, maybe 64, just under 64.20. Maybe, no, you said 64.10. What am I talking about? 64.10, yeah. Okay. Of course, the spread, you clock, Roger. D. That might be a better option. I think it might be a better option. That might be a better option. Let's see where we get a stop up here. It's 40. Maybe above this guy here. 70 pips. We have to go to the weekly now to get a TP. Need at least about 100, maybe 105 or something. Where are we now? Ah, plenty. Take it down there. Okay, what's that day? Call it 62. Make it around 63. I'll do. And 70 pips on that. Call it 63, 64, 70. Clearly that's not going to work. So much for my maths. There we are. That's better. That'll do it. Yeah, no, a little bit more. That's on the weekly. That's why. That just about squeezes it. Okay. What do you think? We're on the weekly now. What do you think, guys? Pending order, get it a slightly better price, 64.10. My worry that 64 round figure breaks, it might go up a bit further. So I'm just going to copy that, maybe keep an eye on it, or put a quick pending order, and maybe an idea to keep an eye on it and check it later on this morning in the trading room. Maybe another 10, 15 minutes or so. Keep an eye on it, Farnley, if you don't mind.
Okay, I will.
Okay, and keep an eye on that dollar, don't forget. I'm just going to post for everyone the dollar and the yields, okay? Just let these guys in. Keep an eye on that dollar. Those who don't have it, I'm going to give it to you now. Right, start off with, this is what we call the yields. Yields on the 10-year note. And then I'm going to do the dollar index I've mentioned before. Need to keep an eye on that. Very important, vital, in fact. Imperative. Certainly do. Just give me a minute. What to do? And the economic calendar. What's happening today on the Western Front? Weekly jobless claims always coming out on the Thursday. That's fine. Manufacturing index in Philadelphia is coming up as 2. Both of them, in fact. That's about all to worry about at the moment. Okay. Inventories were slightly lower than expected, which could give a little bit of demand creeping in on the oil. That's the oil yesterday. So, yeah, just copy and paste that for you. Now I was on the subject and put my name in there. Okay, now remember, guys, if you're only on demos or you don't have any money in your account, whatever, I can't assist you. I can't add value. But if you got some money in your account, you can contact me if you want. I'll give you a WhatsApp in a minute. But remember, if you've got $2,500 or more, or $150 or more in your account, you can WhatsApp me and I'll up you to my VIP group. Okay, there you get more. They get daily economic updates, signals, hopefully, in theory, fresh off the press, sometimes extra ones, but you get the signals first. That's the idea anyway. And remember, I can spend time with you as well if you require it. Support. WhatsApp, remember, I'll put it down. Gets busy here. 060 count. 061 529 3431. We're in business. Okay, there you are. Right. Okay, so we'll just watch that. Keep an eye on it. A couple of other ideas came to look at. AUD CAD. I think we've got a trade on that at the moment as we speak. I forgot, what you have to post them again. CADJPY. Look at that quickly. I hope I haven't missed anybody. CADJPY. On the weekly. Okay, bit of resistance there. Daily, bit of resistance there. Give a look at it as well. Oil is rising. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so you mean now? Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, Gerard, take your point. Oil's rising. It should have a mild positive effect in Canada, Jen. It's about to break above resistance on the technical basis, which means the sellers are a little bit reticent to push it further. If the oil starts to rise, I think that's going to occur. It might pull back a little bit. let's see, pull back a bit to here. It's only 40 pips. You can pull back maybe 40 pips. I like it more because it's back in the break above. So I think this one should be kept an eye on as a possible more upside. I agree. Natural gas, leave it alone. Farley will back me up on that. Natural gas, leave it alone. It's too slow. Nothing's happening. It's been dawdling, dwindling for so long. It's scary. You go into it, you might be stuck for a long time. Your capital's tied up. The margins are quite a bit higher, which those are limited balance, tying their money up in one instrument and it's not moving. And every time it tries to pop up, because you're probably looking for a buy, I didn't mention that, but if you're looking for a buy, it pops up and it comes off again, then it goes sideways. I'd suggest you leave natural gas alone. Right, Dow came out and didn't do us any favors yesterday. That's why it's so important to get your position size right through the calculating volumes. So your biggest emotion should be annoyance. Go on to the next one, rather disaster. I think it got stopped out. What was the Dow yesterday's stop loss? Let's have a look. Yeah, stopped out. 34,770. You're stopped out. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I want to play with this thing. Be honest, I haven't traded much the last couple of weeks or so. And then the couple of times I have traded the NAS and the Dow, if I look back, especially in the past, no, I had a very, very high hit rate. But in the past, I would say a couple of months, I don't think it's been doing me any favors, to be honest. It seems to be jumping around. It doesn't sort of break through, and then it tries to, then it breaks back up again, and then it comes off. It seems to be like a chicken with heads off at the moment. I'm getting a bit wary of it. It's not seem to be. Now you look back and you made 3 good trades and about 4 or 5 bad ones on it. I start to question whether it's rather be a little bit iffy on it. I'm a bit iffy on the down at that one at the moment. And the NAS, to be honest, just a bit iffy on it. But yeah, it stopped out yesterday. If you want to rejoin it, well, that's up to you.
But I even got stopped out on the NAS.
And the NAS as well, yeah.
On the 15th, not yesterday's one, the 15th.
Okay, yeah. The NAS is not. I expect the bounce. It's not in the curve, but every time we want to short it, and then it does, and it pops up again. I don't think it's helping us at all. That knocked me a bit yesterday because I try and obviously have credibility with my trades, and most of them been pretty good lately. And this put a bit of a dent, you know, because if you try to get 1 in 3, you get 2 wrong. Now you got to get 4 right now. You know what I mean? It's the pressure's on it. But having said that, we'll go back. Yeah, I know most that were. We'll go back AUD CAD. We got one. I think we got one out on that one. Don't think it's a stop. Sorry, I could stop on my mind now. Get off on the TP. I mean, 87.48. Well, it's 100 pips in profit. I wouldn't be joining now. If you want me to discuss a trade, you're in no problem. But if you're talking about joining, I wouldn't be too keen now. That ship's definitely sailed. So anyone still in AUD CAD, which they should be, if you took it, you take your profit too quick. You should be modifying the stop loss and not so close you're stopped out. You should still be in that in theory. Having said that, am I still in it after all that chit chat? Sometimes I don't always, sometimes I do that myself and get caught. But in theory, you should still be in it if you took it, which I hope you did. 100 pips. You can modify the stop. Make it around. Give it a decent. Make it 86.90. That's a decent distance between the two, and you still got yourself about 60 pips minus your spread profit, which is a fantastic profit, and you still got a decent gap between the market price and your stop loss. So make it 85.9. You're still in. If you've taken it too quick, you can't re-enter it and learn you took it too quickly. It's no point holding on to your losses and take your profits too quick. I'm harping on a lot because it's happening quite a lot, and it's a pity. And they're not going to benefit from good signals if you do that. If you like the NAS, you're happy with it, you can do it. And some guys did. I think it was Michael went in and he was very happy with the Dow. It jumped up, it went the right way. He took it and he scalped it, and then it came off. So he made a profit out of it. So still wave, it jumps around, you can still play with it and do okay. But for going for a TP with the right stop loss and the ratios and that, holding on for that didn't do any favors. It went up in a profit and then came back a bit. Maybe should have modified the stop. I don't know. In hindsight, it's easy. But yeah, a bit annoyed about it, actually. Why is projected date in the past? Sorry, I'm not with you. What do you mean by that, gift or anybody? Do you see what he means by that? I'll miss it, what you're talking about, and I miss it. Some people help me out. Anybody
Roger,
understand? What's that mean?
I'm
Go
looking
on.
at what you're projecting. It shows the latest date as the 14th of August. I don't know whether it should be whether we are
about.
talking now
I
and the
see what
future
you're
or
talking
what.
about. Yeah, that's just a wide one down there. If you put on the cross there,
Okay,
it says the
okay.
17th. But it's a pretty good question, actually, because sometimes you get glitches in all things and you get stuck and things like that. And I might not notice it. Somebody noticed it, points it out. So thanks for that. Suits you talk about. Brilliant. Thank you. But it seems to be all right. Thank goodness. Oh, here we go. Thank you. It's very important to interact like that. It's very useful, never not just you, to everybody there, and quite frankly, sometimes to me as well. Great. Now, the WTI one wasn't my idea. The US dollar wasn't my idea. We work as a team here, guys. Okay. All right. Okay. So AUD CAD, hope some guys are still in that. Are other guys still in it? I hope we haven't taken your profit too quick. Anybody still in this one? Because if you're not, I'm not going to go on about it anymore. There's no point modifying stop losses when you're not in it. I'm not on demos. Don't say, yeah, man, you're on a sunny demo.
No, I've missed that trade. Was it issued on Monday? Because I just couldn't find it and I didn't attend the trading room on Monday.
Well, it should be sent out. You trade the trading room or not. Was it? It was definitely sent out. Bloody sure of it. Was it a trading room idea? Hey, what? Yep, sent out on the 15th. I think that was Friday. Yeah, sell it at 48. Call that 48, okay? And it's now 86.48. It gets 100 pips in profit. So definitely sent out. AUD, let's look at that while I was on the subject. AUD also on Friday, 94.67, 90, well, it's over 110 pips in profit. Anybody still in this one? Should have modified the stop. You should still be in it. Anybody still in this? AUD, in other words, all I'm asking, anybody still in it? It's quite simple. Type out a yes or a no.
No.
No. See, not that difficult, was it? Nope. Any yeses? So we're all in the trades that lost and not in the trades that won. That's no bloody good. Did not take it. Nobody took it. What a pity. Anybody take the AUD JPY? Because these are doing well. Looks like people took the ones that didn't do well. That's the problem. If you've got limited funds, you've got to choose. You might choose the wrong one. Oh, well done, Pietro. So you got to smile. The smile, the sun's rising from the north. Pietro's up in Joburg. I'm down south. So the smiles are rising not from the east, but from the north. Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, well, pity because those are winning trades. Look at them. Brilliant trades. EURAUD, that actually hit the TP within 24 hours. Hope you took that one.
Yes.
GJ. That one. AUD, what was that? I took that. That's out now. That's fantastic. AUD CHF, 57.08, 56.23, 80 pips in profit. Anyone take that trade? Oh, it did hit the TP. Well, there we are then. Oh, that's all right then. As long as you take the winning trades, because again, I try to point out when I say get some funds in, you go, oh yeah, he's trying to push me for money. One got quite stroppy with me on that. I said, no, if you want to trade, you need to be able to diversify. And even if you're prepared to take an extra risk, you can't because you don't have enough balance to cover the margin, which is the deposit. I mean, I want to buy that car and it's a 20 grand deposit. Well, if I've got 20 grand, I can't put the deposit down. I can't get the car even for the payments. You know what I mean? And yeah, and you got several trades there. And unfortunately, pick one, you might have picked the wrong one. Shame. No, it's a pity. See, everyone seems to be missing the good ones. What a pity. Okay, well, anybody done the GBP CHF or the GBP USD or the USD Swiss franc? Yeah. Okay, at least took those. Okay, that's fine. Great, that's good. Well, I think so. Better check first and don't jump ahead of myself here. It's popping around a bit. It was in profits, popping around, but I think it'll come right. Okay, GBP CHF is hovering. I got a little bit, jumped a bit, and I got a better price. I'm in that one. What price I got it actually? So no, I'm about the same. I'll go to that price as well. Well, that's okay. We'll see how it goes. Jumping around, it's holding there. It looks like it might come off. Good. That's why we send out again. Doesn't mean you double up, guys. It means if you're not in, here's another chance to get in if you missed it. That's the idea. Okay, we'll see. Okay. I think the other one's hovering as well. It's hovering as well. Okay. WTI, what do you guys 40? That's about the same. About a cent up. Wowee. Okay, fair enough. Good. No, hang on. What's the economic? Is it going to be worth it? I'm not sure it's going to be worth it. Dawn Whiplash and Damp Squibs. Let's have a look what we got for Thursday coming up. Weekly jobs. It gets some action, but I know it's enough for a straddle. Philadelphia gets some action. Again, not enough for a straddle. Friday, we got the core CPI for the euro and the normal CPI. Remember, the core CPI is a super price index without fuel and food. Now they're not energy and agriculture or whatever. Okay, but they're both coming out. So that's coming out 11 tomorrow. You might want to look at that. We won't be doing a session on it. Well, we'll do a session if you like, because it's still in the trading room time, not a separate one, I mean. But that's coming out in the Eurozone. But remember, we've got to delete buy stop, sell stop at speed if it's a damp squib job. We don't want to get taken in one as it jumping around. But I wouldn't suggest you do this on what the stuff coming out today. I don't think it's powerful enough to make it worth your while. You can if you like, but it might be disappointing. But if it's a bit slow in reacting, you can cancel them both anyway. But the last thing I want is get both getting filled like the non-farms with some guys. But then again, with a bit of practice, you can do damage limitation, which I showed you. Okay, good. Right. CAD JPY, you mentioned that earlier on. Let's go back to it. If you want to jump in the Dow again, it's up to you. I'll leave in your capable hands. Everyone wants to do that. I think I'm going to give that bloody thing a miss for the time being. When you get it right, you get it right. I mean, I did 1,000 pips with a couple of maybe 3 months ago or whatever it was. Maybe a bit longer, 4 months. I can't remember. When I got it, we got it right. I got 1,000 pips out of it. That's like about 10 to 15 winning Forex trades. What a pleasure. Get it right, but you have to be patient with it. Jumping around at the moment. Anyway, yeah. CAD JPY. Do you want to buy it now or wait for a breakup or a pullback? I think I'm going to wait a bit on that one. Anyone want to look at it for a buy now? I'll tell you, that's a good question there. Mallory, if I pronounce Mallory or Mallory, Mashlori, if I pronounce something attempted at it, but a good question. I'm going to wait. I'm tend to leaning on that one with you finally. Anyone want to do it now? I might be wrong. And tell us a bit. If it comes right, if you believe that comes up, that should. We'll see. What's happening on the hourly? Let's look at the short-term one. It's coming off a bit. 15-minute, coming off a bit. What's the distance there? I don't think it's much. Just give me a second, guys. 15 pips. 4 hour. Give it its due. It's coming back there. Not totally against going in now, but I'd like to try and get a better one. I think I'm going to give it a bit of a miss, but I'm not totally against it. I have to say, my big fault, I'm like most people. I'm not the world's most patient. I've got to work on that hard all the time. And some I enter a little bit early because I'm impatient. Yep. What 4 indicators? Now, right. Actually, valuable question. Sorry, guys, you know this already. Just sort of go over this for a moment. We can go back to trades as soon as you post one. We'll look at. I'll stop immediately. That's number 1 precedence. If you have a trade to look at or go over, GBP USD was asked. Sorry, we'll do that first before I answer that question because it's an important one. Yeah, I think it's just hovering a little bit. Hovering. I think it's going to come right. We'll hope it does anyway. Okay, right. There's a lot of indicators. I think 40, 50, I'm not quite sure. Some I don't know, some I heard of, don't really use, etc. Haku Maiko, can't pronounce it properly. if you like an indicator, use it. That's what they're there for. I personally don't, but that's just me. You get some guys who use very short to moving averages, exponentials when they cross for entry, and they use a CCI like Pietro or whatever. If you use it and it works, you do not discontinue. Don't break what's not broken. You know, don't fix what's not broken. I don't. I like to keep an eye on the economic fundamentals. I like to know a little bit what's happening economically around the world because it's backed up by something. It's not just a price jumping around for the hell of it, you know. And then I like to see what's happened with the buyers and sellers. I want to really simplify it because that's what it is. People complicate it too much, and people with mystique and jargon, and frightens people off. All business is about buyers and sellers. I like picking on people, so I'm going to pick on Farney because I know him. Farney has just gone to his own business and he's got a fantastic product. The problem is Farney and his company don't think much about marketing. So he doesn't know anything about marketing. People don't know about it. And that fantastic product is not sold. Now we've got Logan there. Just pick on you because the last person put that on. Don't take it personally. Logan is a brilliant salesman and he hasn't got a very good product, right? But he knows how to market. He gets it out there. So what happens there? People are buying Logan's product, not so much Farney's. So what I'm trying to point out by this is not whether you think it's good or bad. It's what the buyers do and the sellers do. If the buyers are buying it, the price goes up. The sellers are selling it, the price goes down. And that's what all this is about, all business is about. So, right now, if you look at the candlestick tells you exactly what the buyers and sellers are doing instantly. What happens to indicators? They get the information from the price action. That's the price action there. And they will tell you afterwards what's happening. So they react to that price. If that comes off, the indicator will start to come down. If it goes up, the indicator will clearly follow it. But there's a lagging. And the longer term indicator, the slower it is to respond. If you've got a one year moving average, clearly it's going to respond a lot slower than a 1 minute or 1 hour or 1 day moving average, obviously. So you've got to take that into account. But it's not telling you what's going to happen. It's telling you what actually has happened. I can't tell you what's going to happen, so I've got to have a view. And I get my view from looking at the fundamentals. Quite rightly, and Nikki came on here. First thing she checked, and we often, including myself, forget it, to check the economic fundamentals to make sure there's not a major one coming out round the corner, which could stuff the system up, because that will have an effect not over and above anything technical. Then there's nothing there to come out about. And then you look and have some idea from the trade room what a very strong and what a medium, what a fairly weak currency. You pick that up as you go along. It chops and changes. You get an idea. I keep an eye on it so I can help you with that if you need it. Then I look to see what the price action is occurring. If you look at yesterday's candle, remember, don't use this candle in any technical analysis, trend lines or Fibonacci, anything like that, because it's still a work in progress. It's not a completed candle. Only use a completed candle. We've all done it. Just remember that. It's a natural thing to do. Right, now look at this candle here. And it's tried to go up, but the sellers have come in. It's not got much followed through on the downside. I'll give you that without some buyers coming in. But the major thing has got a short on it. The sellers are coming in and it tries to pounce. Now, I've got the 50-day moving average here, the blue one, the 10, which is that color there, the 100 and the 200. So it's 10, 50, 100, 200. Now, if I've just said they're lagging, why have I got them? I'm looking at them not to when they cross or uncross or whatever. I'm looking to see the angle. I'm looking to see the trend. I give you were selling it, but the trend is slightly up. But I'm also to filter it. It's in the middle zone. It's in the neutral zone there. It's below the 50, and the two most important are the 50 and the 200. I know you've heard it before. You guys haven't, so it's important this. Everybody must have the brown 200 and the 50 blue. You must have it simple moving average. You don't put it on now and save your templates. This is also important, and this is important as well. But you might have a 15 or a 20. I don't know. That's quite important. You don't have to have them, but I suggest you do. But these you must. Okay. Right. Between the two, it's neutral. Okay. And you can get a situation where it can get overbought, overvalued. It's a better word. Overvalued. And that's where I thought the dollar's going a little bit overvalued. Pound might start to, the pound's getting, wrong way. The pound's getting a little bit overvalued. The dollar is strengthening. It's coming a bit of a safe haven. That's why gold came off. A lot of money flowing to the dollar. So we thought a bit of downside. Seems to be okay at the moment, and we'll see. But that's what I use. I use these for the filter is in the buy zone, in the intermediary or neutral zone, or in the sell zone. I like to look to buy it or the pullbacks in the buy zone, sell the rally in the sell to get a good entry point in the sell zone. I might buy or sell if it's near the floor or the ceiling. If it's near the ceiling, I want to sell it down. Near the floor, I want to buy it up. Okay, no problem there. And you check the candle. Now look at the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour is also in the neutral zone. What's happening there? I could look at a weekly. Now this is a 200 weekly, not a 200 daily anymore, because on the weekly chart. Again, in the neutral zone, so there's no problem there. Now I can look in the hourly zone. All right, slightly buy on the hourly, it's very short term, but start to look at those to see if anything's moving. Are there any sellers coming in? If I want to sell it, I want to see sellers coming in to give it a momentum to the downside. If I see, okay, I want to buy it, I want to see buyers come in to give it momentum to the upside. Do you understand all that? So have these indicators. Once you got these indicators on and do support resistance, it's very, very, very important. Most powerful thing in all technical trading. All the others follow it by far. Right. The candle tells a buyer and seller doing. They've got also fancy names to it. You can learn them for sure. But what it's telling us the buyer and sellers are doing. Okay. And you can use a fib, which is quite useful as well. You can use a fib as a retracement or as an extension. Okay. That's basically what I do. I can add to it or whatever, but I found that seems to work fairly well. Why overcomplicate it? Hope that sort of makes sense to everybody there. Yeah, I agree on that, Logan. Sorry, just look at that. Yeah, I agree. If you do that, then buying the CAD's not a bad idea. I agree. That's exactly what I think. Okay, you got that, Paco. I don't think you asked the question. I think it was somebody else, actually. Something. Who asked the question? Who asked the question there? Marlon. Yeah. So hope that sorted you there, Marlon. You got it. Good. I'd always say this, but don't always get this. If you want to get a degree in something, get it in common sense, because most of this is common sense. So what is the most difficult thing in trading, guys? You can read all the books in the world, buy all the courses in the world. You can be a very clever guy. You can be a quick study, all right, and pick it all up and read it once. It all sticks in your head. What you need to concentrate is those damn emotions. The biggest, most difficult thing of all trading is controlling those damn emotions. And I'm not just saying trading everything. I'll ask any professional sportsman why they're successful, because they have the discipline and controlling that head of theirs, their emotions, more the heart than the head, actually, controlling that heart of theirs. Try and use the head and not panic all the time, because a lot of panic does occur. And when you see your real money, your own personal money, taking a bit of a knock, you start to panic and you do things that are panic rather than rational. Try and get those emotions controlled. And for goodness sake, get the calculator and get your volumes. If you go into a position that's going to screw your account, you're overexposed. Okay. Look after downside. Here's a good slogan to write down. Remember, look after the downside, then the upside will look after itself. If you avoid arguments with your spouse, you'll find you'll have a happy marriage. Get the idea. Avoid the bad side and you'll have a happy upside. To go a bit quickly, okay, put in the 10-day with the red one, all simple, the 50, the 100 and 200, put it on your chart, right click, go to template, and then save the template by clicking on save template, put your name in there and click on save. So if you lose it, then you go to right click, go to templates, and you click on the one you saved, okay. It's used as a filter. If it's below the blue and above the brown, it's in the neutral, you can buy or sell. If it's above the blue, unless it's overvalued like this, then you can sell it. You tend to wait for the pullback. If it bounces off there, you can buy it. If you're in the sell zone and it goes up and it bounces off there and comes down again, then you can sell it. Stop loss there, you TP wherever. That's how you do it as a filter. And keep an eye on the economic calendar. And you can put in extra indicators you like. That's entirely up to you. But I use by looking at the candle, I want to know what the price action, what the buyers and sellers are doing. Hope that's all clear. Right. Okay. So I think that's covered that. That's good. Thank you, Pietro Cicciolina. Just make sure that it's simple, not exponential. Hope we're all good.
Roger,
Yeah.
can we look at the USD CAD as a sell, please?
USD CAD as a sell.
Yep.
Now, what he's saying there is either it's in the buy zone. Sorry, Peter, I've got, because people are starting here. I don't want to confuse them. They're thinking, hang on a minute, why is he saying selling? It's clear the buy zone. What Pietro's saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is he thinks the value is gone a little bit high on the dollar, and that means because he's selling it, he's going to be buying the Canadian. He thinks the dollar's overvalued and the Canadian's got to stay a bit undervalued with the fall off the oil price. We are looking at WTI trade. We're looking at oil to go up. We're thinking maybe a possibility of upside in oil, and we think the Canadian might be slightly undervalued and the dollar overvalued, and that's why I'm thinking at that sort of area here of resistance support, there might be a bit of downside. Am I correct in that, what you're saying? Yeah, that's correct. Fine. Now, my only hassle with that is, have we got any confirmation? I agree it's pulled back to those levels here, but it hasn't broken through yet. And as it's tried to break through, a few buyers have come in. You can see the wick of the buyers coming in. You see that Paco and Gift and Marlon and the guys I'm looking immediately to see what the buyers and sellers are doing. You see what I mean? I'll make it a little bit clearer. You see, as it's trying to break through, some buyers are coming in, but it doesn't seem to be many. Let's try a 4-hour chart. See, hang on, not many. 1 hour, not many. 15 minutes. As it tries to move up, not many sellers are coming in. Let's have a look at this area here. Look, it works at all charts. See, it bounced off that in the 15-minute. See what I mean, guys? And it's come down 11 pips. See, you can do, it looks like a lot, but it's 11 pips because it's a 15-minute. Don't get excited. You see all that. You're sure. Well, yeah, it's great. Check. If you're on a 5-minute chart, that's often diddly. Not much. But anyway, what I'm saying is, yeah. So the sellers are trying to come in. But look at the 15-minute chart again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8:15s are what? That's 2 hours, right? Last 2 hours has been bouncing around. And as it bounces around, these are short-term traders trading the 15-minute back and forth. Well, that's all right. Why can't I do that? Quick. Yeah. The problem is you've got to take into account you've got spreads. A lot of guys doing that are working for the company. Well, they have minimal spreads. They're getting a better price because they work for the company, proprietary traders. Okay, so you can see as well, though, they work, okay? See, it's bouncing off that. So I'm leaning to say, I don't think you got a bad idea there. So I'm leaning towards. I want to explain why. For new guys, got to learn from here why Peter came up with it and why I think it's not a bad idea. Logan, as mentioned, oil we think is going to go up. That means the Canadian should strengthen. We think the dollar could be getting into a slightly overbought level. So there could be some downside, even though it's a strong zone. So what we can look at is maybe wait for a bit of a breakthrough. Go back to the 15-minute. Is there any movement back up? I'm really trying to look for a movement back up. If there's a movement back up again, maybe we sell it round about, it's only a little bit better price, maybe around about there. But it doesn't seem to be happening, does it? It's just open up the new candle at 5:15 on the 15-minute chart, and the sellers are returning. Is it going to break this guy here? It seems to be coming off. I think this is possible. Can we just look back at the daily, what we can look at a stop here? We don't have to have stop too wide, maybe 60 pips. Then we look about 100 pips or more as a TP. How far is it down here? Oh, God, wrong one, sorry. That's only 70, so that's not going to work. That's my issue. There's quite a bit of resistance there. So you'd have to take it down there to make it worthwhile. So you've got a choice, guys. Do you want to do a short-term trade with a 74 pip TP? So we need about a 40 pip stop or roundabout. I don't like it too close to stop because then it could annoy us. Maybe the noise is there. Maybe a stop around about those levels above today's. It's only 10 hours old, to be fair, this candle. Above today's candle's high. Around about a 40 pip stop as a strong Rambo aggressive shorter term trade. What about that? And the stochastics look a bit of overvalue as well. We'll put one on for you. Why not? The wrong thing. That's why. It's an oscillator. If you want to find it, don't forget. I use it unless you want to change it. I'll use this one here, defaulted one. So it's right up in the sort of pretty overbought zone as well. But remember, that can't go up any higher than that. If that continues up, it'll hover around this level. Don't forget that. So it is limiting on what that gives you. Okay, but I prefer to look at the original stuff we're talking about, and it seems to be trying to come off. Anyone want this as an aggressive trade? Put the MACD on if you like as well. Well, I'll take away the MACD. Okay, all right. Okay, so anybody like this an aggressive trade with a tight stop and a pretty tight TP, hopefully might be out of it maybe even today. They'll be too tight to send out to everybody because they don't understand. We've got too many traders who are trading without either listening or learning or come to trade or even reading their books. And they won't understand. When they don't understand, they blame us for their lack of knowledge, which is a bit unfair, but that's the way it is. But anyone want to do this as an aggressive trade? I hear that song, The Sound of Silence. Beatrice gone for it. Okay. No thanks. Double bottom on the day. Well, if we're aiming for the double bottom, I don't care. Logan quite likes it. Anybody else? Do you want to go for it, Hera, or are you going to wait on this one? Farney? Leave it alone. Okay, if you want to take it, there you are. 40 pips, stop and aim for this area here. If you want to take it. And I'll put it up for you. Bit iffy on the dollar myself, to be horribly honest with you, Hera. Don't blame me on that at all. Short, stop loss just above this guy here. The TP at 134.49. So might just squeeze it. Yeah, we do. $50 a micro. Okay, Mike, no problem. Okay, if you want it, there you are, but I'm not going to put it down. Not enough supporters on that. It's too rich for the blood of the Cluck Cluck Club. Okay, we'll move on. Which after the Nas and Dow of yesterday, I'm a bit of a Cluck Cluck Club at the moment. Okay, not much happening with dollar, Swiss franc, but at least not going the wrong sodding way. GBP, CHF, anything happening on that one? I'm not going back the AUD ones because I think most guys are out of it, and the ones that are still in have modified. They know the score, so we leave those alone. But they were good ones. So despite the two bad ones yesterday, we've had many good ones, so that's fine. Trouble is the guy didn't take them. Gold. It's gone. I'm a bit iffy on gold. I know the stochastic, if you use it, which I don't, it's looking like it's a bit oversold, but I'm more into the fundamental gold. If the dollar remains strong, the yields remain on the high side, the gold could come down further. Remember what happens as well. If you get a stronger dollar, what happens is that people perceive the dollar as a safe haven, so they go to take the money out of gold and go to the safe haven of the dollar. They see the dollar weakens, they take the money out of there and go into gold. Okay, and as the yields go up, it means they're getting more interest, which you do not get on gold, so losing out on the opportunity of it. So they tend to go back into the interest and they leave gold alone. So gold is looking a pretty, well, it's actually technical damage now. It's gone into the sell zone. I'm not confident of selling it as yet, but I'm a bit reluctant to buy it now. I hope it's going to bounce a little bit. We've got a trade idea out, but I'm getting a little less confident on it. Like the NZD JPY the other day. So don't start playing with your stop loss. Leave it where it is. Don't start. Well, you can put it up if you want, but don't push it away from entry. Don't increase your risk. This is looking a bit dodgy as we speak. If we gain 1900, we might get right. But if it does, I wouldn't hold too long unless we get some weakening of the dollar. Hope that all makes sense. Hope we're all clear. Must have the dollar index. I posted it. You must have the yields. I posted it because it's no good buying gold if the yields are shooting up. No use selling gold if the yields and the dollar come shooting down. Bear that in mind. They're going opposite directions, like the NAS and like shares, depending on the shares, but we'll say the NAS and the Dow. I hope that's all clear. Not too quick. If it is, we can repeat. And if I'm still speaking too quickly, Pietro, finally, somebody will help you out.
Roger, my question is, it seems that the dollar did not, or the gold did not react yesterday with the DXY, but it rather floating and dropped further because of the increase in the yields. I mean, they said the yields is highest in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Spot on. The dollar did not respond. It did a little bit, but the yields were the major factor. The yields also a big factor on indices as well. Because remember, if you're getting a no-brainer high interest rate, why would you take a risk in shares? So the higher the interest rate goes up, the worse it is for shares. You're right. And particularly in gold. Remember, gold doesn't pay a dividend. It's purely capital gain, and there's a risk involved. Why take the risk? You're getting good return without taking a risk. Again, common sense. That's the reason. Most of this is, a lot of it's common sense, actually.
I've listened this morning to Squat Box, who had one of this strategists, and he said, why wasting time and put yourself at risk if you can get 10 years return from America for doing nothing?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
4%.
That's the whole point. The trouble is, I can give you a piece of investment advice here, which is easy to understand and a complete boring pain to put into operation, especially for older people. But for younger people, it's great, but they won't listen to it. And that's called compound interest. If you compound it, the trouble with that, it's boring because it's long term. Now, today's society is all instant. I remember when I was a kid, I'll be enwrapped in a 5-day test match, enwrapped in it. But I still enjoy it. But not so. But now it's all T20. You get the idea, or it's a football match of 90 minutes, or a rugby of 80 minutes. 5 days is a long time now. So the youngsters want the BM now. They want the fancy clothes now. So they obviously get debt and liabilities. To tell a youngster in their 20s, put instead of getting a fancy, dumb down your car and put $1,000 or $2,000 away on compound interest next 20 years, I can virtually say you'll all be millionaires. But they won't do it because they dip into it because then they go into debt because the stuff they're buying is exciting. Putting it away for 20 years is boring. But the trouble is that as well with inflation, they've got to increase it. So it's $2,000 a month, and then they've got to put up to 2,300 and 2,400 because otherwise inflation eats away. But the bottom line is compound interest is the easiest name of the game, but the most boring and disciplined because it is long term. But yeah, but if I can pay Farney. We have a dole suddenly, for 20 grand a month for staying at home for doing nothing. Why would he go to work for 25 grand? It's not worth the extra cost in petrol to take the risk. He might get fired and the pressure when he's not going to get fired. He's doing nothing and sit at home and play golf. You know what I mean? So he's quite right. That's why it has that effect. The higher the yields have a negative on those sort of areas. Well, you have to. And the best way to explain something is through outlandish comments and comedy because it sticks in the head. It's the best form of way. If you and it's like, ever seen the players in Joburg quite a long time ago called Defending the Caveman? It's a way of teaching us men to laugh at ourselves. They had a follow-up, Defending the Cave Woman, to laugh at ourselves. We get sort of idiosyncrasies. It teaches us without being offensive, and we laugh at ourselves. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, and yeah, we do funny things. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit of a silly thing. Yeah. And if you make it outlandish and use analogies, my theory is people listen and pick it up. If you use long, fancy words, think, oh, the clever guy, but a clue what he's on about. That's no good at all, is it? And it complicates it, and people get frightened, rather understandably. And you've got to have a sense of the ridiculous in life anyway, because a lot of things are quite frankly completely irrational, like price action. Okay. Yeah. So I'm a bit iffy on goal at the moment. I think maybe we jumped the gun a bit yesterday, but I hope he gets rescued if he's still in it. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything happening on our WTI? Come off a little bit. So I think just leave that. I was going to maybe post it out there, but I think I'll just hang 5. Those who got it, hold on. Just hold before I sort of jump in and post it out to the company to send it to everybody. We'll see. Okay. Dollar yen we've missed. CHF JPY. Some guys jumped in quite high, but they've been aggressive. Start to maybe come right. I'm still nervous of chasing it. Anything I've missed? Oh yeah, Sharon Wright. Rod, just a random question from my side for planning purposes. Does the Zoom trade room go on during December except the holidays? Okay, good point, Sharon. By law in the United States, you can't have the market closed for 4 days. That's why New Year's Eve and Christmas Day, it's open for about half a day. Because you got to have it open because it falls, especially if it falls over a weekend. Got Saturday, Sunday closed. And then and let's say Christmas Day is on a Friday, if you close on the Christmas Eve as well, you've got 4 days closed. Got to be, can't be closed. 3 days maximum closing. Hope you got that. But it's fairly thin trading. A lot of guys are on holiday. They normally come into the office on those 2 days till about lunchtime around the world, and then they close up, knock off. Some people trade, but it's fairly thin trading, low volumes. But the bottom line is, yeah. If I have go on leave, then maybe Clinton will fill in or something like that. We take it in turns, but we've got to have the trading room open. That's why when we had, was it Women's Day the other day, we still had a trading room session. So it might have been Women's Day over here, but it wasn't in the States or in Japan or in Europe or whatever. So the markets there were still open. That's why we had a trading room. So yeah, this is a vital part of what we're offering. And I want you guys to support it. Because, as you know, Fani, that's why the CEO had that question a couple of Mondays ago or so, because he was actually thinking, if nobody's attending the damn thing, why pay good money, which he's paying me to do, if no one's attending? It's not worth it, you know. And if everyone's attending is all on demos, is it worth it? You know, the company's got to look after themselves. You've got to look after yourselves. We look after each other. It's not just a one-sided thing. And there wasn't enough people attending the afternoon session, so that was canned. So attend it, make use of it, and I think it's invaluable. It helps you as part of the product, and a lot of players with money come into it, and they trade, and they add funds to it, and it's worth it. And we get a lot of trade ideas for even those who don't attend. Will trade it, and it makes it worth it. But remember, bigger clients will get the more attention. It's just a way of life, isn't it? If one guy's putting one micro in, another guy's putting one lot in, who do you think the company's going to look after more? And people get quite offended. I want a full-on 2-hour Zoom with you, and you've got a couple hundred on your account. They get quite offended. Why? But I mean, are you going to travel to see me down in Ivongo here from Joburg and to sell me a kilogram of chocolate? I mean, it's not worth your while. And yeah, should do it. No, Ashley's gone to another broker for whatever reason. I haven't really kept in touch. I don't know. Anyway, but no, he's shut off. I mean, I had a guy with about 20 bucks in the other day and threatened to take his business elsewhere. Literally, this week, actually, I think it was Monday. I don't want to be rude to him, but I think what broker will take you anyway? Who cares? I mean, you know, it's like going to the bank, Ed Bank, saying, I don't like the service. I'm drawing out my 100 Rand. Don't the CEO quiver at that? Common sense, think. It's got to be a trade-off somewhere. Make sense? Hope I'm not being rude or harsh. Should in theory be blindly obvious, but sometimes we wonder if it isn't. Are we good? Any questions? Anything you'd like to discuss? Any of these indicators again, if you're not sure about? You've all got the fundamentals and all the rest of it, and the DXY. Don't forget, if you want to check anything on the instrument, pick one at random, highlight it, right click, left click on specifications. And it's sometimes, as pointed out yesterday, like the Nikkei, this is full access. Some might say close only. She can't enter new trades or whatever. It gives you the margin. The margin is obviously the deposit, gives you the contract value. That's why one size doesn't fit all. This contract is 100,000. You go to a share like Ford and right click specification, it says 1. So you don't go 0.01 in of a share, because that's just being ridiculous, because it's too small. And some guys have done that because they haven't understood the basic maths. And then they wonder why their profit loss is not moving, even though the share price is, because it needs to move a lot to make 1 cent. So these things are very important. So you might go with 100 or 200 on 0.0 on Ford and 0.05 on a Forex, because the contract is completely different. GBP AUD, let's have a look at it. You must understand that, guys, because a guy's seen going in 1 micron gold, 1 micron on the Dow, it's a completely different ball game. 1 micron, I don't know, GBP USD and 1 micron a share means they're trading without having the basic knowledge which they've got to have. And if it comes back and bites, it's their fault, not ours, because they hadn't attained any knowledge. Got to take responsibility for your own knowledge as well. We help, but it's not our business, it's your business. It's accumulating, it's a bit overbought as well, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. If you don't understand, ask. Okay, yeah, quite right. Yeah. Just ask if you're not sure. If you're new here, that's fine. Glad to have you, but I hope you've got some basic knowledge behind you. If you haven't bought a course, I don't know. Have you bought a course? If you haven't got any basic knowledge, it's going to be a bit fast for you here. Mandu, have you got a course? Have you got basic knowledge? You know what lot sizes are, calculators, margin, leverage. You know you're on a leveraged leverage instruments. If you Not anymore. All stopped now. No, they never have been on Sunday, but there was not enough attendees. Remember, you've got to pay a guy to give the class. If nobody's going to attend, what's the point? So we're only doing Monday to Thursday now. So yeah, if you haven't got a course, just let us know, and maybe Farley or someone out there will get in touch with you and assist you in that direction. But if you try to come into a trading room with somebody, yesterday I've heard of a share, what is it? It's going to be a little bit like going to study maths at university when you haven't done arithmetic at classes before then. That's the gift. That's absolutely spot on with that one. Absolutely spot on. That's what I'm trying to get across. Anyone who's been at university will back me up on this. 4 years university, learning a whole lot of theory. You get your degree, then you go in the commercial world, the practical world, and a lot of it you're not even using. Quite right. Absolutely. No, we're totally bear with you. I'm totally right. My frustration is guys don't want to listen, don't want to learn, don't go to the classes, don't want to put money in, don't want to have any equipment, and then start wondering why they're not making hordes and hordes of money. That's just frustrating. But the ones who come to class, interact, and want to make the effort, I love those guys. I really want to help them. If you want something for nothing, well, no. And that seems to be the sort of quite common. It's not being harsh. It's trying to help people to start taking personal economic responsibility. And then we can help. But yeah, Mandu, I'm still waiting for a reply on this. When asked a question, which is a good one, then you need a reply. Have you bought a course? Have you got some prior knowledge? Or are you just first time here? I need interaction on that. Then we can help you, but you need to, like Anna Marie said, respond on that. And then, you know, like when you ask a question, it needs to be answered. So, so we can assist you. Yeah, I know it's the first time here. It's not the question. Have you bought a course? Have you got a Stock Market College course, Mandu? A lot of people will, but I'm trying to ascertain for the guy, has he got it or not? Okay, he did buy it. Okay, that's fine. First thing you do is you need to go to a couple of classes on the evening, 6:30. First of all, you need to know how to operate the platform. You can't put a share in. Sorry, Sharon, you can't put a trade in if you don't operate the platform. Even with a signal, you've got to operate the platform, and then get a position size calculator and do a couple of classes as well on indicator, things like that. And then when you've done a couple of those, you've got some idea what they're talking about, lot size and that. And then come in and we'll get the practical thing going in the trading room. Hope that's all clear. Thank you very much for assisting as always, Gerard. Perfect. That's what I want to hear, Caleb. That's why we'll help you. Fantastic. We're here to help, but it works both ways. If you don't ask, you don't look, or you're playing on Facebook, yeah, it works both ways. Correct. And don't think you'll be able to play the piano after one lesson. You won't be able to trade after one lesson. You need to stick at it. And the markets can be funny sometimes. Hey, Funny and company, all experience that, where a lot of times you scratch your head. The verb of the market, I cannot control, but I can control position sizing and the head and the discipline of those things, and a bit of basic knowledge, and having the economic calendar, I can control those things. We can work on what we can control and iron those mistakes out, not overexposing, and then all we worry about the market not behaving too strangely. That is out of control. And another thing is, when you go in, it's a natural thing for it to go in your way. Let's say we buy this now. It might come off a bit. It's going against you before it goes up. You've got to be patient, give the trade a chance, and try. I'm not looking at my trade at the moment. It looks horrible when you do that, because when they're in the red, you panic. So it gets out of your head. Check it now and again. Don't let it play with your mind. It's very difficult. It's your money. I get that, but it's just one of those things. It will play with your head. They won't go in a straight line, up and down. Buyers and sellers going in and out all the time. Okay, hope that was been of some value. You find with me, I'm a straight talker, but I hope it's to benefit you. People are often very polite and then, you know, very sweet, but if it doesn't benefit you, what's the point? Let's have a look. We have a look at the euro dollar for a while. See what's happening there. I use a daily, often for the strategy, sometimes the week, sometimes the 4-hour guys, never the hourly. Actually see what's happening. But I use them, but not for initial strategy. I'd say at least 70% the daily, and the other 30 made up for the week and the 4. So I'm going to the daily. Yeah. If we expect any dollar weakening, any yields weakening, well, I'm more worried about the dollar in this case. Maybe we get a bounce here. No, we got 11 o'clock. That's right. Well, no, it's tomorrow. 11 o'clock is CPI thing on the euro tomorrow. Maybe give that a miss. Okay. Keep an eye on the calendar. Don't forget. Check it. Maybe 11 o'clock might give us some direction. Okay. Good question. I'm not sure the exact point would be answering it. Not sure I get the exact point. I look for highs. Often use a 50-day moving average, but not on its own. I like to have it backed up by a couple. If the 50-day moving average came with quite a few, 1 or 2 is not really a lot, but it needs to have 1 or 2 where you can see that. It's wait, well, let's just have a look here. Yeah, if you see on the 50-day moving average, you go across that crosshair there, a little bit there, a little bit here. There's a little bit round about this level where the 50 is, somewhere around there. Okay. It's sometimes a bit of a maze, and some that's fairly obvious in your face and very powerful. If we look at down, maybe this is getting in the way a bit. I'm going to try to take this off out the way. It's a bit clearer. Try something else. It's not a great one on this one. Try something else. Try the pound dollar. I'm seeing, you see here, it's just below the 50-day moving average. But if you look along the cross there, you can see Previll candles highs there. At the moment, this is still a work in progress, but it's a high there. On, where are we now? Thursday. On Tuesday, popped slightly above, but there's a bit of a high there. And going back to Monday, you see a high there. Just try and make it a bit easier for you. A bit of a high here as well. There's a bit high, a bit here on the body and the wicks. So there's a bit round about that level. There's a bit of resistance there. Here is an obvious one. The most powerful Caliban company are the ones that are absolutely obvious. If a 10-year-old can see it, it's going to be powerful, which is common sense. I use the potholes in the road, done that quite a lot. All right. You're driving around with your 10-year-old sitting beside, I hope it's 10-year-old's high enough to see above the dashboard, and you're driving around, you're on the phone, whatever, the bloody great pothole in the road. He's going to say, Daddy, Mummy, whoever's driving, look at that pothole, because it's obvious in your face. But if it's a small resistance, a lot of guys, or a small indicator, it's like a small pothole. It's easily missed. So that high, as you can see here, is a pretty obvious one. Okay. That's what we're talking about, double tops, double bottoms, because that's an in-your-face kind of high. And because it's so in your face, so utterly obvious, it becomes self-fulfilling. Remember, you're emotional and you're the same as everybody else. You know what I mean? Never mind your culture or whatever, same as everybody else. You want to make a buck. Not many people put their hands, no, I want to lose a buck. Okay. So if it says it's right, getting really high, call the high the ceiling. If it's getting right up to the ceiling, are you going to hold on in case it breaks a very big ceiling? A lot of resistance, a lot of highs there, and fail to get through that ceiling and come off. Are you going to hold on to the off chance going to break through, or are you going to take your profit? You're going to take your profit. What do you do when you take your profit on a long? You sell. Now selling is pushing it down. Other sellers come in and it pushes it down. On a short, we call it a short covering bounce. What does that mean? As it hits that support there, the floor, bang, it bounces. What are you going to do? You're going to exit your short position, your sell short position. How do you do that? You buy, not sell, you buy to exit. We call that the bounce. Others see the bounce, they start buying. So a lot of guys exiting, their TPs are there, you get the bounce, you get the idea. And that's why I use the floor and the ceiling so much, because everyone else can see it, so it becomes self-fulfilling. You look up at your ceiling, you got your 10-year-old, 5-year-old, 8-year-old, anybody there can obviously speak English, not a 1-year-old, and say, where's the ceiling, young lady or young son or whatever? And they're going to point up there, Dad, that's a stupid question. That's obvious. And they'd be right. So what's happening? It's in your face. They'll react to it. Why do I like these 15-200s so much? Not because they're better than the 100, the 15 or whatever. Because not everyone, but a hell of a lot of people, a lot of pros use it. So use it self-fulfilling, like the ceiling self-fulfilling. That's where they're powerful. But these little bit of resistance here, a little bit of resistance there. Yeah, they're there. But they're not as in your face as this guy here. So they'll have an effect, but not as much as that guy there. That's why you don't need fantastic brains or anything like that. Just use a bit of emotional common sense, bit of EQ, not so much IQ, is it? You don't need a fantastic IQ. You need more of a higher EQ. Okay. And welcome on board. I like it, Logan. Welcome on board. That makes sense for everyone. These questions make sense. I like you asking for everybody. And once it says, yeah, that's a bit of common sense there. So what's the problem? Yeah, right. I'm taking it. My emotions are taking over. I'm taking my profit too quick. I'm modifying my stop loss away. I'm looking at my volumes. I'm not using a calculator. I'm not budging correctly. I'm going in too big. I don't do that when I shop in Pick and Pay at the weekend. Why should I do that here? Oh, it's a business. Yeah, like everyone else. Yeah. So you need buy and sells. Oh, yeah. And it becomes familiar. Is it difficult? Well, you're a brain surgeon. Is it difficult to drive a car? Absolutely, yes, it is, because you've never seen one before. You ask old guy around the corner there who's nowhere near a brain surgeon, failed him a trick, and he's driving all right. So clearly it's easy to drive a car and being a brain surgeon. Why is it easier for the other guy? It's because he's driven it before. And they, you know, it's once you get these sort of bits and pieces, it'll start to fall into place a bit quicker. So the next thing is the variables of movement of the market. And the variables of movement of the market are out of control. I think that's why did it go up, Roger? You said it was a sell. Well, I didn't know that. I remember Tendulkar, if you follow cricket, one of the greatest batsmen ever, maybe after Bradman, I don't know, but one of the greatest batsmen ever. He married a surgeon and she didn't know much about cricket. And he got out. And she said to him, why did you, I saw an interview, I had to laugh. She said, why did you get out? And he turned around his wife and said, I didn't want to get out. I didn't do it on purpose, you know, but these things happen. Unfortunately, trades go wrong. That's why you have the right position sizing. So it was quite sweet to ask that, yeah. And the batteries sometimes go a bit flat. You're quite right on that one. And it is a lot of it is crystal ball stuff as well, yeah. But if we get in the trades on our side and we don't overdo it and the exposing side, then we're getting that crystal ball on our side. So once you get the base, doesn't take long. Work on the discipline, emotions, and patience, which is I have to still work on. And come to the trade room, we get ideas there. If about 10 people come up and say, oh, I like to buy that, well, at least it's moral support if it goes wrong. You're not alone out there. Yeah, but it sometimes does. It goes against you immediately. You want to go in your favor immediately. So you just send a dollar, pound dollar right now. We call it cable, and it pops up a bit, but your stop's a long way away. Pops up, then oh yeah, it's going well. It's popped in. I'm 5 pips in profit. Then you go to the loop, come back. Now you have 5 pips in the red. Give the trade a chance. Buyers and sellers are pushing up and down as we speak. Remember, there's millions of people, literally millions trading, millions and millions of people. And in and out all the time. You just jumped out of this. Well, somebody in Timbuktu did as well. Give it a chance. Don't look at it all the time. Don't overexpose. And then the head won't give you so much hassle. Hope that made some value to you on the practical side. Because when people... Thank you very much, Fani. And you know a bit. For new guys, that should be valuable. Because remember, when you're looking at Instagram and these guys, they're only looking at their successes. You're getting a screenshot of full of blues. Not going to put a screenshot of full of reds, are they? You know?
No,
Like fate. Go on.
One of the things that minimized my profits, although it helped with or minimize my losses, but also minimizes the profits, is the trailing stop losses. With the volatility of the market, it's causing me to get out and with very low profits or either very low losses. So that is the thing that I need to work on, but it's just a warning for everybody. If you trade on trailing stop losses, be aware of that.
For me personally, what I like about trading stop loss, and it was not me who said it, you not me who said it, is when you go to sleep at night, you feel it protected. Because the last thing you want to do, go to sleep at night, you're long on this thing, and it's shooting up there, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're fast asleep, comes down, you wake up and it's back down there. So the trading stop would have got you out there maybe, but that's one useful. But depends on your situation. During the day, I can keep an eye. I'm not looking at it now, but I don't stare all the time. But I can look at it when I want. You know what I mean? And then I prefer to modify it myself. I don't use them very often, not even at nighttime, to be honest, just let it run. But I do take your point, nighttime would be quite useful. But yeah, but the problem is getting the stop loss too close as well. And you find you're winning 5 trades and losing 3, but you're losing money because your losses are 100 and your wins are 25, and you're getting the wrong way around the risk reward. But it is a fact that people don't want to take a loss. I had a call yesterday. It's getting close to my stop loss. Should I move it? Meaning, should I move it away? And I replied to that. So you want to increase your losses? Is that what you're saying? He didn't reply to me on that. MT5 only displays 4 symbols. I don't understand the question. Well, you can see this is MT5. There's a hell of a lot more than 4 symbols on there. You just add to it. You should do other platform training. I'll show you. Just click on there and add. Or if you're on a phone, go to quotes and add it. Just add to it. You might have default euro dollar. I know, God, I know what it has. I've long time to use it. Just add to it. Which depends what you got. Remember, this is another point. If you've got a bonus account, you can't do shares. Okay. If you've got a micro indices account, you can only do the micro indices. You can't do anything else. But if you've got a normal non-bonus account, you should be able to do all of them. Well, that's fine. I don't use it much. He'll probably know more about it. Logan, that's fine. He'll help you on that one. It works. It'll stop you out, but does it work to your benefit? He's the man to ask. I don't use it very often. He has more practical knowledge of it.
It's working, but it all depends if you customize. I've slowly moved it down that my trading stop is normally at 35 pips. I've started to increase it again due to the volatility up to 50 pips. And it's better, but you always need to be aware of the market. All of a sudden, what happened yesterday, for example, on the Dow, it just never kicked in because it moved in the wrong direction, for example.
If I may say,
got that?
One of the negative impacts of the trading stop loss, like Fani says, if it doesn't kick in, it doesn't carry on. But also, you say you don't have to watch it, but you still have to watch it because sometimes if your trades are bouncing up and down, and it's just hitting the break even, and your trades are starting to go positive, and then decides to go back and then go up, you might be kicked out the trade as well. So that is something I've experienced myself as well.
Yeah, but it shouldn't really have the trailing stop when you go to sleep close to 50 pips. If you need to put it 20, 25 pips, you might as well take the profit. It worries you. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Exactly.
it's true, but normally what I do,
agree with you.
I agree with you. Normally what I do is I move it, say, to 35 pips on a Friday evening, not to be awake Monday morning at 3 o'clock when the Eastern markets are opening.
Yeah. That's also true. I still think 35 is on the cusp of being a bit on the close. 35, just about okay.
But on the positive note, I do like the trading stop loss. It's actually a wonderful system that they've put in. But like you say, you just have to calculate what are you willing to risk and what profit are you willing to take if it does roll in the wrong direction.
No, you're absolutely right. And one of the things is if a big fundy is coming out like this CPI, make sure that you just cancel your trailing stop losses. Otherwise, it's just up and down and you get whiplashed. That was one of my problems that I experience now with the last CPI.
Okay, yeah. I just told there, I've just had a WhatsApp came through on my screen there. A guy saying the GBP CHF is a sell, then the CHF GBP is a buy. Well, I had to explain. It's one the same thing. You're buying the Swiss franc and you're selling the pound, but you sell or buy the base currency. That's something that should be learned in classes. Okay. It's got it now. It's thumbs up. Good. That's why I'm a bit pedantic on it. If you said the US dollar AUD, I'd have to say no, that's wrong, which it is wrong. It's the wrong way around. You've got to use the base currency to buy and sell. Very important. That some guys might not all know that, so I'm just voicing it.
Now, while you mentioned that one, it's hovering AUD USD, so I'm going to cancel that pending because it's just do not reach the entry point.
Yeah, okay. If you're going to cancel pending, thanks. I forgot about that. It's not happening, is it? Quite right. Just it's crabbing, as Anna Marie says. I think she's left now. Yeah, it's crabbing. Yeah. Unless you want to go in now, can we find something worthwhile? That's cut. It's a long way down. You got plenty of meat on the bones there. Where can you put the stop loss? No, that's after today's. That's a weekly, idiot. You put the stop loss up there somewhere if you want. Do you want to do it now? What's the dollar doing? Just let me check the dollar. Yields start to move up a bit again. Or more ones a dollar on this one. It's come off a little bit, but it seems to be holding around the 103.4 mark. Do you think the dollar could strengthen a bit? It's based about the dollar at the moment. Do you think it could strengthen a bit? I'm taking this off because it's confusing me. Yeah, I know it's 4, but I don't like cluttered. What's your ongoing thinking of the dollar? That's the big question, isn't it? Do you think the dollar is going to continue to strengthen, or do you think it's going to weaken? It's about the dollar on the AUD at the moment.
Yeah, no, I did see that this morning, last night at 1:30, it went up to 103.6. So and that was the highest in the last 2 months. So it may be the American market when it opened do sometimes a lot of funny things with the dollar strength.
They do indeed, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's look at WTI. It's come off a bit. Those are in, fair enough. But I think it's now not a bad one, actually. How far? That's 480. Can we squeeze? Yeah, $5. So we can do $3. What's $3 the downside? Where does that take us? Yeah. And that's not bad. I think we can do that. Just check on the 4-hour. Send it out, I mean. See if they like it. Give me a moment. Sorry, guys, just need to get this out of the way. Do this. Okay, go back to Calibre quickly. Yeah, you should. If you say you can't do shares, by the way, you've got a share idea coming out. You can't do them if you're on a bonus account, but I think the bonus will last a month anyway. If you're in a micro account, you can't. Micro indices account, that is. Having said that, if you haven't got either, well, I've just mentioned Caleb, and you can't add them, there's something wrong somewhere. I suggest you go on the live chat and see if Clinton can help you, or go to the the platform training tonight to sort that out, because you've got to have them. Clearly, Callum, you've got to have them. Hope you get sorted out on that. I want Sterling to fall, but don't get excited. It's not in a 5 minute now, is it? Somebody, oh, it's falling. It's in the 5 minutes, and it looks like a lot, and it's not. It is as well. Oh, thank you. It is indeed. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Pendili. Thank you. It is indeed. About bloody time. It's going to break through 1.27, and the smile come back. And the Swiss franc on the other one, GBP CHF. Oh, nice one. Nice one. Nice one. And dollar Swiss franc. It's trying to give it its due. It's trying to, yeah. Yeah, it might. It's a nice way to finish 11 o'clock. Okay, just about to wrap up now. It's 11 o'clock. Anything final? Just want to quickly ask before we close up till tomorrow morning.
Roger, can we go into the WTI?
Okay, go for it.
Can we go into WTI?
Oh, go
Or
into,
you-
I see. Yeah. This is the 4-hour candle. It seems to be holding. As it comes off, it seems to be holding. What I'm trying to do here, Pedro, I don't take full responsibility. I'm ducking a little bit.
No,
here.
I understand. No,
So I'm sharing,
I do understand
I'm
there's a
sharing
risk,
it
but-
with you, my reasons. Yeah.
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 But what's your
Okay,
opinion,
so it
sir?
seems to be holding there. It seems to be going up there. It seems to be holding there, going back there, going back there. Yeah.
Okay. Great stuff.
If you like it, I'll just copy and post it for you.
Please do.
I just I put it on for everyone. You just on the thingamajig here for you. You just hope
Okay.
that's going to be good enough. You see it there. You see the risk per micro and blah blah blah. You can see it all there. Yeah. Just keep an eye on China and the fundamentals. If those who've got 2.5 grand or more will get the updates. If China starts picking up speed, then oil should go up. And I think the Saudis won't be happy with a sub $80 price either, which is occurring at the moment. Remember, crude oil is slightly cheaper than WTI, so they might start talking or hinting maybe some more reduction of supply to try and get the price back up again. Might do. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know they will, clearly. Okay, all got it? Okay, before we finish, next time, guys, when you join, if you don't know how to cut a position, actually, I'll take 2 seconds. You might not know how to cut a position. Just take 2 seconds. If everyone wants to leave, they can and know this. Just going to finish off for newer guys here. Just hang on a minute. Cut a position. If you don't know how to cut a position, I'm about to show you. I've got obviously I've got a volume there, not one size fits all. It happens to be coincidental. I might have 0.4, 0.4. It depends on. Don't have one size fits all. That's just coincidence. Now I don't want to close all of it. I want to close part of it. So you go to volume, and you highlight it, the one you want to obviously cut the position, reduce the position. Double click. And let's say I want to reduce it by 6 micros. I've got 12 micros. Reduce by 6 for argument's sake. I put in 0.06 as in 6 micros, and then I click on the close button. What will happen then? That'll obviously be changed to 0.06, and that'll change to $825. You banked $800 or whatever your position is, and take from there. Obviously, if in a loss, you want to cut your losses, you want to cut it a bit harder, it's up to you. Most people don't. They let the losses run until they hope to get the profit. But if you want to cut your profit, it's getting near resistance, you're a bit nervous, you want to keep the trade run, you've modified your stop loss. Mine's in a slight profit, 64. I'll leave it there for the moment. I won't lose on that trade. And it's going to a nice profit. You might think, I'll modify the stop. I think I'll bank some of it, and then let's let the rest run. Now you know how to do it. It's quite simple. Highlight, double click on any of them. I'm sure you see the volume. Put the volume you want to close, then click the close button. partly close it. There you are. Hope you all know that. Okay, if you don't, we'll do it again next time. Have a great one. And like Caleb wants to join again, please do that. Interact like you've been doing, and then we'll start getting somewhere. Hope to see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys.
Bye all.
Bye all. Cheers now.